Final Fantasy VII has been one of my favorite RPGs since the 90s, so when I started making laser-cut topographical maps, making its world map seemed pretty obvious. But you might say, hey, you already posted a video of making one of these things. So I wanted to do this video because I watched my original making of this product and was like, wow, gosh, I'm so glad I don't do it that way anymore. That was so tedious. So, so this is after it's been cut, right? And inevitably, when you've got tiny pieces, some of them are gonna fall through, which is why I've got so many duplicates of all of the teeny tiny pieces, because I know some of them are gonna fall through. Because, you know, the honeycomb has holes. Small stuff is gonna fall through the holes. But, you know, if I have enough duplicates of it, some of them don't. But this is the biggest part of what I've changed. This is blue tape. And I just work my way up, covering all of it. If the wood is bowing at all, I'll often put a magnet on it to make sure it's holded flush, because if it pops up and there's little pieces underneath it, it causes problems. So this is helpful. Got the whole thing covered, and now we lift it up, and inevitably some things are going to be left behind, and I try not to disturb them because it's easier to find them at this point because I'm going to be taking all those little bits and putting them where they belong. Yeah, that's annoying. It happens. All right, all of the pieces picked up from there, put on here. Obviously some things are missing, but you know what, I've got duplicates of all of them, so it's fine. Now that is a bit of a pain in my butt. I'm gonna cut that out before I move on to the next step. All right, did my best. I'm not confident. I'm just gonna cut a second one of that piece out. I don't have a dupe of that one in here. I've got dupes of several things, but I do not have a dupe of that, and that is a very fragile piece. So why does that kind of stuff happen? That happens because plywood is made up of layers, and they put the pretty layer on the top and a pretty layer on the bottom and absolute horse shit in the middle. And every once in a while that horse shit has a really thick nasty spot, and the laser just doesn't want to cut through it at your normal speed and power, and you get stuff like that. So that happens. Anyways, moving on. Look at that, we covered it in tape again. Why did we cover it in tape again? Well, because we're gonna peel this tape off. We want the front exposed. Tape removed. Look at that. So now we have the top fully exposed, and you know what we can do with this top? We can sand it all as one glorious piece. Well, bam! Look how big a difference that made. And I used this thing, and it was fast, and it was painless, and everything stayed where it was supposed to because there's tape on the back holding them in place. Yes. I hate to admit it, but I used to like sand every little tiny freaking one of these pieces by hand with sandpaper. That's dumb. Don't do that. Do it this way. This is much better. This is editing Athie here to do some voiceover because I had the laser running while this was recording, and it was very loud. So this is polyurethane, and I tend to put several coats of polyurethane on these things because I like it to be shiny. You know, I got this thing where I like shiny. And in order to get the shiny, you have to do more than one coat. You do one coat and you let it completely dry and cure, and then you have to sand it again. But you sand it with a much higher grit sandpaper. I use 400, it makes it smooth, and then you do another coat of polyurethane. And if you've done a good job and your polyurethane isn't old and cruddy, it will end up coming out shiny, and that's the goal. Look at how shiny that is. It's got a nice shine. And I was able to do it in one single pass, and then poly and one single pass. No hours and hours of sanding of 100,000 tiny little pieces. And it's still all together, and all I gotta do is take this stuff off, and then I can start gluing everything together. So yeah. Alright, progress. I think that one is almost completely done. There's just one piece missing, and I haven't found it yet, but there's still quite a bit in here. I had reprinted a few things, the ones that, like here, this guy, I didn't even bother. Like, I knew that wasn't gonna come out. So I reprinted that one on a separate piece, and I've got a second of this one somewhere. Wait, Maybe not. No, wait, there it is. Yeah, that's right. I already found it. So yeah, so it doesn't matter that that's all screwy because I had a second one. That's why I have doubles of so many things. In fact, this is my pile of doubles. Everything that's up here is something that I already glued down here. So doubles, which is nice because then I don't have to worry about things falling through and losing them. And back to voiceover Athie. It's done! I skipped over a bit, like the border pieces in the back, but you know, you get the idea. I actually gave this one to a friend for his birthday. He's playing through Remake and Rebirth for the first time and really loving it, so it seemed like a good fit. Anyways, enjoy my cat!
Look how big you are. Oh my gosh. You're so big.